back with another high-octane edition of Record Breakers.
We've got the lot today. Motorcycle madness with Eddie Kidd.
A flaming extraordinary record attempt here in the studio.
And miniature melodies from a microscopic musical record breaker.
Which is easy for me to say. Yeah. And you've also been chatting to a challenging chess champion as well, haven't you?
That was easy too, wasn't it? One of the kings of chess, Gary Kasparov. But before the king, what about the Black Knight?
Yes, Eddie Kidd. He's Britain's #1 daredevil biker. Inspired by the legendary Evel Knievel at the age of 14, Eddie leapt into the record books for motorbike jumping, which simply defies gravity. His latest spectacle took him to the other side of the world, and you wouldn't get me trying this for all the tea in China.
Hi Cheryl. Hi Roy. I'm standing in Beijing, outside the Forbidden City. In 2 days' time, I'll be attempting one of the most dangerous jumps of my career up to date. They'll be jumping over the Great Wall of China. This is for you record breakers.
2,150 miles from end to end, the Great Wall of China is the longest fortification in the world. The wall was built to keep people out, but that's before they invented motorbike jumping. To attempt the jump, Eddie's team had to construct a giant ramp alongside the wall. On the other side, a second ramp, much shorter, would provide the landing strip, but it's only a few meters wide. The margin for error is terrifyingly small. Eddie checks the ramp, and he's not happy.
If I take off to this height, I'm going to hit that wall, and I'm going to crash bad. There's no way, from this angle, that's my apex down where Spank is, I'm starting to come down. If I clip there.
Only after the team had built a further 1 meter section onto the launch ramp was Eddie ready to go. With everything set, it was now or never. Eddie was over the wall, but was he okay?
Yeah? Yeah. Try that. You all right? You all right? Think about it. All right! All right! That's the one!
Britain's Eddie Kidd becomes the first person in the world to jump the Great Wall of China.
Oh, wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Scared me then,
Yeah.
you.
Scared myself. Thought I was going to hit the cameraman.
Wonderful thing in China there. It's a good trip you had.
It was unbelievable, yeah. I think up to date is one of my hardest jumps I've ever done, really.
Really?
Well, I couldn't actually see the landing ramp. Most of my jumps I can see the landing and takeoff and see the actual gap I'm jumping over. But that one, it was like a 10-storey high building, the ramp. It was like 100 foot high.
Yeah.
It was only 120 foot long, the run-up. And then the jump was only about 60 foot. But I only had 80 feet to stop on.
Sure.
Normally I have a 150 foot landing ramp, then like a mile to stop. I had to smash into the boxes.
Yeah,
if I wouldn't have got caught in that light cage, or if I would have been too far to the right hand side of it, 1,000-foot drops. So that's why I was quite worried about that one.
So as you're going down the ramp, what's going through your mind?
I'm totally concentrating on getting the right speed and the right takeoff. And really, the hardest point is landing. Anybody can, you know, take off. So I'm just concentrating on landing and getting that bike flying straight through the air.
Well, has there ever been a time when you've taken off and something has gone wrong, so wrong that you thought, uh-oh, this is it?
Actually, yeah, a couple of times. When I jumped 14 double-deckers when I was 18, I'd done a world record. I cleared, the gap was only 112 feet, but I cleared 190. As I took off the ramp collapsed and it knocked me backward. And I normally used to jump like with my front wheel in the air, and I thought, what is going on? And I won't say the words, but I was pulling it and pulling it back. I could not understand until I saw it on video after what went wrong. So yeah, there are times, but you've just got to be ready for that. That's why I do training, to get the reflexes.
Yeah.
And I know worked well in China. But since then, you've had another jump, haven't you? Really, a childhood ambition was achieved on this one.
That's correct. Well, I challenged Evel Knievel
Yeah.
several times. He was my hero, and he turned me down. And now, Robbie Knievel's challenged me for the world champion. It's called the World Motorcycle Professional Jump Association. And the idea of the competition was you start with a 150-foot gap, then 175 foot. You get 3 jumps. Whoever jumps the furthest on the 3 jumps, the footage would be added up. Whoever's got the highest footage would be the winner.
And we've never seen it on UK television before, until now. So here it is, the Daredevil Duel.
Eddie Kidd, England's Dark Knight, has become the challenger to the Knievel name. His reputation and ability have captured the imagination of motorcycle jumping fans throughout Europe. Tonight, these 2 world-class jumpers will test the limits in a duel of skill and courage.
This time.
He's got it lined up. He is committed. Knievel's first jump in the neighborhood of 200 feet.
Here's the replay. Robbie comes up. He keeps the front end down real nice this time, lying somewhat level. Gets slightly crossed up, making corrections, and then he sets down.
192 feet. The Black Knight from London, England. All 40 practice jumps behind him. Eddie Kidd is letting it rip, nearing 90 miles an hour. He's lined up. He's committed. Oh, what a jump! In the neighborhood, Johnny, of 210 feet. Look at the way Kidd brought those handlebars up at the point of takeoff.
Oh, that was a good spinal compression. I hope that he's okay after that.
Officially, the distance, 214 feet. He's got it lined up. He's committed to going. And a very hard landing. The Kidd held on. He'll be well short of his first jump. Now there is what Eddie saw as he approached that landing ramp. The front wheel beginning to loop out. How he held on, I'll never know. Is he committed to going here? He is. Robbie airborne. And this is a big one. Oh, it's a huge jump.
Fabulous. He kept the front end down. You could see him dragging the rear brake in midair. You could see the front end come down, notching twice. And that was unexpected. He maintained fantastic control of the motorcycle. Going into this next jump, it's going to be heavy drama.
He said earlier to me today, tell my dad, who's watching in Portland, Oregon, that I'm carrying the name Knievel on my shoulders, and Dad, I'm going to carry it proudly. Knievel, he's got it lined up. He's committed to going. Another huge jump. 210 feet. He has done it. With a cumulative total of now of 626 feet tonight on 3 jumps. Unquestionably, the biggest jump of Eddie Kidd's jumping career awaits him. He knows he needs 210 feet to take out Robbie Knievel. The separation is 175 feet. Kidd is committed. He's off the launch ramp. And he held on. He held on. You'll look right into the night here as that front handlebar comes up. Eddie somehow held on. 215 feet for Eddie Kidd.
Daredevil champion of the world, Britain's Eddie Kidd.
Institute is developing a secret weapon. It's not a motorbike, it's the world's smallest violinists. They creep up behind you and hit you with a bit of Bach or Beethoven when you least expect it. Isn't that true, James? Huh? Concentrate. That's beautiful.
The violin is the smallest stringed instrument in the orchestra. It could also be the most valuable because the auction record for any musical instrument is for the 1720 Mendelssohn Stradivarius, which sold for £902,000. Well, Rebecca here paid £4.50 at Woolies, didn't you, Rebecca? No, of course you didn't.
And I played the world's smallest violin 22 years ago on the first ever Record Breakers program. Now this one is even smaller. It's 3.5 centimeters long. Now this is a full-size violin, so just take a look at the difference. Okay? It's a perfect replica of the real thing, except that it's only got 2 strings instead of 4. But I'm told that it does work, so we have to be very, very careful here now. There it is. Look at that, James. Isn't that beautiful? Yes. The only thing is we've got to take a full-size bow to it, because the man who made it couldn't make a bow small enough. Now let's see if it plays. Can you hear this? Can you hear a note out of there? Yeah, can you? Young ears, young ears. I can feel it vibrating, but I can't hear a thing. Oh, I can hear that. Can you hear that? The bats could hear it, couldn't they? It's bat music. Have you heard of the Unfinished Symphony?
No.
Oh, this is the unheard one. Cornel Schneider from Switzerland spent 70 hours making this little instrument. It'd take me longer than that to get any kind of a note out of it, I think. It's been made from ebony and boxwood, and these tiny strings are made of wire which Cornel took out of an old telephone cable. Sounds like I've got a crossed line, doesn't it, eh? It won't make $1 million at an auction at Sotheby's, but size-wise, it is a real record breaker. So shall we all get together now and play a little fanfare for this, the world record-breaking violin? Okay, here we go.
Of the World Chess Championships at London's Savoy Theatre got everybody focusing their attention on a little checkered board and the 2 players hunched in concentration over it. One of these has been World Chess Champion since 1985 and he's a record breaker.
I play aggressive chess, fighting chess, attacking chess, and that's a part of my nature. I believe in freedom. I was trying to establish my independence.
But surely, if you play aggressively and take risks, then that must mean you make mistakes.
Yeah, I believe that anybody who is active will never avoid mistakes. You know, I think that's the fear of mistakes. It's one of the greatest fears that is freezing our activities. But when I play chess, you know, if it's a risky, complicated position, I think that my opponents, they have at least the same chances to make mistakes, and that's I believe, as we say in Russian, my star, and I have enough confidence to go for complications in almost every game. Fine, I want to win, you want to win. Okay, let's try. Very risky. It takes a lot of energy, but otherwise, you know. Otherwise, people will be the public will be very upset by looking at very dull, professional games. The chess exists, in my opinion, exists for public, you know. Yeah. It's any sport. If we don't have public, if we don't entertain the public, what is for? It's not for us, it's for the world. And I believe the fighting, aggressive chess is the best way to make this game big.
What has Nigel Short got to face over the chessboard when he's playing you?
No, first of all, he will have to face a stronger player, and that will be his major problem. In the long run, as the World Championship match is, the good fighter and Nigel is a good fighter, always has a chance, because the challenger is always more determined than the world champion. That will be the real serious challenge. But I believe in my chess strengths, and I believe that my moves will be better.
Now, to the uninitiated like me, for instance, chess seems a very cold, calculated game. But is there any emotion involved?
Yes, there is logic. There's a certain element of logic in chess. But you cannot make, normally you cannot make the calculation till the very, very end. It's very often, especially on the top level, you have to deal with your emotions. You have several options, okay, the 2 or 3 moves. And it's impossible to see what is the best. You have to smell it. You have to, yes, you have to trust your fingers, you know, as a piano player. You have to trust your intuition. Plus, when you play not in the tournament but in the match, in the long match with one opponent, like a world championship match, you have to remember that somebody who is sitting opposite you, it's another human being with his own ego, with his own personality. And your ultimate goal is not only win the game, but just to beat him, to destroy the personality. It sounds a little bit cruel, but that's a fight. If you want to be on the top, you have to fight, you know. If you just want to be average, fine, you can avoid fight, but by avoiding fight, you will not achieve what you're dreaming for. Chess is very, very good for everybody, because you are carrying the full responsibility. You make a good move, you won. You made a bad move, you lost, and nobody to blame. And that's why, if you want to be the first, if you want to be the best, you know, that's in your hands.
This is Terry Cole, a man who's devoted his life to the pursuit of the extraordinary. Everything Terry does in his act has taken years of training and needs nerves of steel. Only in the hands of a master can flame be tamed to this extent. Only a person who knows the secret of the fire breather's art could attempt acts as dangerous as these.
Thank you, Cheryl. You must be a lot of fun at a barbecue.
That's what people tell me.
And on a more serious note, though, I mean, that is extremely dangerous. How many years does it take to train?
About 8 to 10.
You're joking? How long was that?
Yeah.
Now, of course, you've been on Record Breakers once before, haven't you?
That's right, 2 years ago.
That's right. I remember it. It was the
milk crate.
Milk crate. How many did you manage?
25.
And that was a world record.
That's right. It's in the actual book, yeah.
And you've got another world record as well, haven't you?
That's right. I've got the world record for balancing 220 cigar boxes on my chin.
Fantastic. Well, let's hope you get another one today.
Let's hope so.
I've got to ask you, your teeth, are they all gold?
That's right, yeah.
Why?
They're all gold.
Why are they gold?
Well, I do a cabaret show, and I pull nails out of pieces of wood with them.
Yeah. Well, no, it's quite normal, isn't it?
It's a normal job.
I mean, this is what you do, isn't it? You love doing crazy things.
Absolutely.
And Terry's record attempt today is just as crazy. And I've really got to stress that you'd be completely mad if you tried anything like this. We're only letting Terry do it because he knows what he's letting himself in for. Now, what he's going to do is to attempt to become a human fire extinguisher, the fastest in the world. He's going to extinguish more than 77 of these flames, one at a time, in his mouth in 1 minute. And if he does that, it'll be a new world record. Now, because this is so dangerous, our own safety supervisor has been standing by throughout, and he will continue to do so. Okay, thank you, Steve. Take that away from me. As will Andy. Andy Whitewick. Now, you're with the fire service, aren't you?
That's correct.
And which station are you with?
I'm from Wembley.
Wembley.
Yep.
Which watch?
Blue Watch.
You're with the Blue Watch?
Yes.
Hooray! And what do you think about what Terry's doing?
Well, this particular record attempt is like playing with any fire. It's extremely dangerous.
Sure.
But he does know what he's doing, and it is being done under controlled conditions.
But on no circumstances
Under
anybody
no
tries.
circumstances should this be tried at home by anybody.
Yeah, well, we don't want to be the reason that this part of London's burning tonight, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay.
OK, Terry, you sure you want to go through with this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to say one thing. I'd like to dedicate this world record to my mum and also my dad.
Smashing.
Yeah,
Wish
no
you
problem.
loads of luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Cheers.
Good luck, Terry.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
To achieve the speed he needs, Terry will light a flambeau over and over again from the main flame, putting it into his mouth at a rate faster than 1 per second and completely extinguishing it. If it's still lit when it emerges, it doesn't count. We're looking for more than 77 completely lit and extinguished flames in 1 minute, and the clock will automatically stop the counting after 1 minute has elapsed. Are you ready, Terry? 3, 2, 1, go!
Seconds.
20.
20 seconds.
39 flames.
30 seconds.
50 flames, you're well ahead.
Come on, Terry. 40 seconds.
67 flames. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. 97 there. That's put 20 on the record, huh?
Lovely.
And you got
Lovely.
a good tempo going there. hadn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, it was sort of to do with rhythm.
Yeah, the pauses were for breaths, obviously.
I burnt my finger. Look.
Burn your finger. Your mouth's all right.
But your mouth's okay.
Yeah, mouth's okay, yeah.
Well, you're a record breaker yet again. There it is, 3 world records for the amazing Terry Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.